I realized I was going to make Nantucket my home, I decided I needed to get an apartment. And if you know anything about Nantucket, that is one of the most difficult things that you'll ever do. So while I was looking for an apartment, I was looking around at neighborhoods that I might want to live in. And I was walking on York and Pleasant Streets, and I saw this tar-papered shack, it looked like. And not that I wanted to live there, but I thought, what is this doing here, messing up this beautiful Five Corners? Why isn't this building fixed up? What's going on here? And I saw the sign, and I said, the African Meeting House. And I have to be honest, my initial thought was, why does everything that has black people associated with it have to be run down? That was my initial thought. Why does it have to look like that? And I think that's where my spirit came from in getting involved with the Meeting Project.
Oh.
I'm Renee Baldo. I live on Prospect Street in Nantucket. I've been here about 3 years in May, next May actually.
Super.
And like most newcomers, I fell in love purely by accident. So if I can in some small way be a part of getting the African Meeting House on its feet, restored back to the form that it should be in, like all the other beautiful buildings on Nantucket that are historically preserved, that's what I want to do. I don't care if it's doing anything like Pass Me the Brick or making my voice known by talking about it to every person I know, or if it's just by, you know, fighting for it in whatever way that I can.
I just wanted to know what happened.
So that's kind of how I got involved in it. And I'm so happy and I'm so lucky. And I met a great bunch of people, and I feel like I'm home on Nantucket, and just being part of the Meeting House makes me feel that I've come home inside too.
Hi, I'm Jim Nettles, and this lady is my wife, Margaretta Nettles, whose studio I'm working in. We're weaving a rug for one of her clients. And she's been doing this now here on Nantucket since I've known her, and that's been since 1970. I act, I cook, I love kids, I love animals. You see my 2 dogs here. And living on Nantucket really allows me to do all those things. Yeah, I love history. Nantucket's history is very rich, and interwoven in that is a black community that somehow or other has become a little lost in the history.
My name is Helen Seeger. I'm convener of the Friends of the African Meeting House on Nantucket. I first came to Nantucket before my husband and I were married. I came in 1962 with his set on our honeymoon in 1963. Anybody who drives by the Meeting House these days can't help but notice that there's work finally going on. Nantucket treasures our history, and we should treasure all of it.
I think that in the long run, we'll have a community that's mindful of its total history, hopefully, and grow to appreciate it being there and use it. To gauge that again is kind of hard. People being what they are, what they think about, what they feel. I would think that anything that unites the community would be well received by everyone. We'll have to wait and see.
There was a slogan in the textbook that we used for history in high school that has always stayed with me. The slogan and the theme of the book was, "We are what we are because we did what we did." And we will never understand Nantucket perfectly, and we will never understand this country perfectly until we can figure out who we are because of what we did. And that's what this whole project is about. Nantucket treasures our history, and we should treasure all of it. And the more we know, the more we have to treasure, and the more we have to treasure. And I hope that the kids who grow up on the island will have a feeling about history, and even if they're living in some other area, that they'll be proud of where they came from. And if they're living in another area, help the people in that area go after the history of that area, because every area has a history. Perhaps not as rich as Nantucket's, but every area has its own.